of humanity is under threat because of this deadly virus. So in order to contain the virus, masks, sanitizers that has been an integral part of our lives are made up of organic compounds. Not only this, but also the soaps, perfumes and the fuels we use, the clothes we wear, the food and the medicines we take are all made up of organic compounds. Hence the word organic, it means pertaining to life. You know, in the olden days when comparatively little chemistry was known, people thought that the substances like sugar, starch, proteins, acetic acid can only be obtained from the living sources like plants and animals, and hence they named these compounds as organic compounds. Whereas the substances like common salt, nitrates and the sulfates can be obtained from minerals and non-living sources, and hence they name these compounds as inorganic compounds. Since these organic compounds were known to be obtained straight from the nature and there was no known method of synthesizing these organic compounds in the laboratory, so people thought that these organic compounds are from this some vital force from nature, and hence they believed on this vital force theory. But sooner this particular theory got discarded when a German chemist named Friedrich Wöhler has synthesized an organic compound, that is urea, by heating an inorganic compound, that is ammonium cyanide, in his laboratory. Further, another chemist in 1845 named Hermann Kolbe, he synthesized this acetic acid from its constituent elements of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Further, this continued in the manner, and the old concept of organic chemistry that was based on this vital force theory was sooner discarded, and a new concept to organic chemistry came, that is, the organic chemistry is essentially the chemistry of carbon compounds. So when you see, there is hardly any walk of your life where you do not use these organic compounds. So don't you wonder what is so unique about this carbon atom? Well, the answer is your catenation and the tetravalency. When you look at this tetravalency of the carbon atom, it says the valency is 4. You know that carbon atomic number is 6. So the electronic configuration is 2 and the 4. So carbon, it shares 4 electrons with the other atoms, and you know when sharing of electrons takes place, the bond that is formed is your covalent bond. Hence, carbon shares its 4 electron and forms a 4 covalent bond. So you can define this tetravalency as the characteristic of this carbon atom by virtue of which it forms a 4 covalent bonds. Hence, it is called the tetravalency of carbon atom. Next, coming to this catenation property, it says the self-linking of carbon atom through covalent bonds forming straight or branched or cyclic chains. If you look at these atoms, you find that carbon-carbon, how they are bonded to one another forming a straight chain. And here you can see the carbon are bonded to one another forming a branch, where this carbon is attached to the central carbon atom by forming a branch. And as you see, these compounds they form an open chain, and hence this is called your open chain compounds or the aliphatic compounds. Whereas in this case you find the carbon-carbon are bonded to one another by forming a closed loop, and hence they are called your closed chain compounds or the cyclic compounds. Well, there is another concept also regarding this carbon atom, that is, when a carbon atom shares a pair of electron with the other atom, it forms a single bond. And when a carbon shares 2 pairs of electrons with the other atom, it forms double bonds. And when the carbon atom shares 3 pairs of electrons, it forms a triple bonds. So you learn that a pair of electron forms a bond. So 2 pairs forms 2 bond, 3 pairs forms a 3 bonds. Thereby the carbon forms single bond, double bond and triple covalent bonds. So you can define the catenation as the property of self-linking of atoms of an element through covalent bonds in order to form straight chains, branch chains and cyclic chains of different sizes. That is what we say is a catenation. And you can see that because of these two unique properties, you can find a large variety of carbon compounds. And now, can't we define this organic chemistry as the chemistry of hydrocarbons and the derivatives? Let's have a small question now. Is it a cyclic compound or an aliphatic compound? The answer is it's a cyclic compound, because you watch here that the carbon are bonded to one another by forming a closed loop. So closed loop in the sense, obviously we call it as a cyclic compound. So the answer is it is a cyclic compound.